All right, I haven't started yet, so definitely I'm about to start now. It is 6 o'clock and time is very important, right? So we're gonna have to make sure that we start on time, finish on time, all right? So we're about to begin. All right, as soon as you get on the channel, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so. And definitely, we're going to be looking at some ideas today, slightly different from what we have done in the previous videos. Gonna be looking at some skills that we need as we go forward. All right. So we're gonna take today to go through some questions, ones that you really need to be thinking about, in order to make the right decisions as you go. All right, so let us start. All right, so on the board we have some questions, right? So the first question that I'm looking at here, it says here that Sally eats 3/4 of a can of dog food on a daily basis. So information, this is the amount that is ate of a can, and this is done daily. So that's what Sally eats. So underlining the main points, it's very important as you go forward with your solving. Then it went further. It says Becky, which is another dog, eats 2/3 of a can daily. So we have some information here. We have the amount that Sally would eat. We have the amount that Becky will eat of a can, and this is daily. All right, so the question is, how many cans of food will be needed to supply both of them for 72 days? So we got the information as it relates to what they would be eating daily, all right? And then we want to know how much will supply both of them for 72 days. For a question like this, what I want you to do is simply find out what both of them would have ate in one day. So we're going to be putting it together using the proper mathematical operation. And in this case, addition is what is needed, right? You could go ahead, work the problem out if you think you have the answer, and push through. So we're talking about one of them, which is Sally, would have ate 3/4 of a can. And then Becky will be eating 2/3 of a can. So what we want to know, so this is on a daily basis, all right? So we want to combine their efforts, and then we're looking at this is daily. So what we want to do is to find the total. So the total now you are now forced to add fractions with different denominators, right? So you're adding fractions with different denominators. What you're required to do is to definitely find the LCM for both, right? So the LCM for 4 and 3, let's write down what we mean. LCM will be multiples. So if you go on your 3 times table, you're going to see 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and it goes on and on in that fashion. Then if you look at your 4 times, you have 4, you have 8, you have 12, you have 16, but I'll stop. Why? Because I'm looking for the LCM, the lowest one that is common. And I'm looking at 12 and 12. So that's the smallest number that is common for both. So I will definitely be using 12 as my LCM. How do we go about using this? You divide your denominator in the LCM, and the result that you get, you multiply by the numerator. So let us try this. So we're going to say here, 4 into 12, right? 4 into 12 goes 3 times. So 3 times 3 will give us a 9, because there's a 3 on top of the 4. Then from the next section, we're going to say 3 into the 12, right? 3 into 12, that's 4 times. So 4 will now be multiplied by 2, and we get 8. So what we have here is a total of 9 plus 8 gives us 17 over 12. Both of them are actually eating together 17 out of 12 as an improper fraction, right? You can convert this to mixed numbers if you want, but I don't want to do that based on what I have to do. So this is the amount that both of them are actually eating together, right? So now what we want to do, as you could see, what we want to do now is to, so this is on a daily basis, you know, this is in one day. This is in one single day, both of them. So if we want to go for 72 days, it simply means then for 72 days, we will have to be supplying 72 days. We will have to supply this times 72 because this is for one day and we need it for 72 days. So basically, if you know your timetable, again, you have to learn your timetable. 12 into itself one time, 12 into the 72, 6. And then you want to multiply 17 times 6. 17 times 6. And that's going to give us about 102 cans. So we're going to need 102 cans to supply both dogs for 72 days if they're going to be eating that amount each day, right? So we take our time and we work these problems. It's not a rush or anything. Please don't rush the questions. Make sure that you're accurate and so on. Again, if you're just coming on, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so, right? All right, let's look on the follow-up question. So now we are aware that we have 102 cans to be bought for those 72 days. Let's look on the next question. The follow-up question says that dog food is sold in cans in sets of 3s. Again, whenever we have important details, you want to underline it, you want to circle it. So we said dog food is sold in cans in sets of 3s. So if you're going to buy it, you're going to get it in sets of 3s. You're not going to get them one by one, right? Now we're told now that one set of a can, right? So one set of can costs $8. So now we have the cost for 3 because one set would be one set of 3, all right? So we're seeing here that 3 cans will cost $8. No problem, all right? Remember now, the question says how much money will be needed to purchase the required amount of cans. They are referring to the required amount of cans for 72 days. And for 72 days, we're talking about 102 cans. But remember though, that the cans are sold a particular way, right? So it's not like this, the cans are just sold randomly. They are sold a particular way. So they are sold in sets of 3s. So it is my intention now to find out how many sets of 3 can I get out of 102. So we want to know how many sets of 3s can I get out of 102. What mathematical operation do you employ now to get how many sets of 3s you can get out of 102? So you want to have 102, you want to divide that into 3. So 3 to itself, 1, 3 into 10, 3, carry 1, 4. So here we realize that we will have 34 sets of cans. So we have 34 sets of cans. And then now it's $8 for one set. So I have to multiply this by 8, right? So whether you want to put it aside and do your multiplication, right? Do your multiplication right there, all right? So now you will see 34 times 8. We'll have a 2, we have a 2, 7 here. So it's gonna cost us $272, right? $272 it's gonna cost us based on the amount that it is sold for and what we're required to do. Again, guys, please hit likes on the video right now. Hit likes as we are here. Let me slow down. Let us look at the question. If there is any question that you have pertaining to it, you could drop it in the comment section all the time. You can drop that comment in the comment section, right? If you're not certain of what is going on, you can always do that in the comment section. All right. All right, so there we go. So that's the first question there, right? That's the first question there. And it has some nice parts, one that you have to just take your time, work through, put it together, right? The second question says that Mark spent 2/5, right? So this question is saying that Mark spent 2/5 of his money at a fun day. So I want to highlight what he did. He spent 2/5. Mark spent 2/5, right, of his money at a fun day. He then realized he only has $2,400 left. You have to be careful. The wording is important. You want to make sure that you are looking at what is being said. All right. So after he has spent 2/5 of his money, he realized that he has $2,400 left. The question says, how much money did he have before the funding? In other words, what is his original money before he actually spent anything at all? How much money did he have, right? So we want to look at that question right there. Want to look at that question right there. All right, see if you could quickly figure out what goes on for number 2. If you're just joining, we're at number 2. We are looking at the amount of money that Mark spent. All right, so I'm looking in the live chat here to see if anybody is working out any one of the questions as we go. All right, so let's see what's going on. There are things that we want to put into the right perspective here. He spent 2/5. That's fine. But what did the question say? The question said here that he then realized he only has $2,400 left. Very important. This is not the money that was spent. This is the money that was left. He had this left, which means then you want to see if you could make an association, right, to this amount. So you want to figure out what's going on here. If he spent 2/5 out of his money, then you would have thought that he has 3/5 left. So you want to take it very simply, right? Now your money was in sets of what was in 5 equal parts. So we could split it up into 5, right? We want to split this up into 5. 1, 2, 3. He has 5 equal parts, basically, right? And then when he spent this piece and he spent that piece, that's 2/5. The question says that he realized that he has $2,400 left. Now, I want you to associate the money that is left as the remaining fraction that is actually left. The remaining fraction that is left was actually 3/5. He had 3 out of 5 parts left. And that 3 out of 5 part is actually the 2,400, right? That is 3 out of 5. That's what he had left. So what you want to do now is to, there are a number of ways you could work out this, right? There are a number of ways you can work out this. You can look at the diagram that I have here and try to figure out mentally, if I'm going to divide this up equally, right? And I need to put an equal piece here, here, and here for it to come to 2,400. You're looking at the fact that you have 3 equal pieces that must be divided up. So you could do this question by saying, just 1/5, just 1/5 out of it. Just one of that. All right, so I'm just going to put it like this. I'm going to say that one part is going to equal to my 2,400 divided by 3. And if you take your time and do this, you will realize you get $800. So $800 is actually for one of these pots. So this is 800 there. That means this is 800 there. That means this is 800 there. So I'm just saying, using a diagram, we can actually move around properly, right? So that means if they ask for the total amount, I need to have $800 here again and $800 there. And then I have a total of how many sets of 800? 5. So I could say is total money would be the 800 times the 5. And you would realize that he had $4,000. All right. And that's just one of the approach, right? All right. That's just one of the approach. I'm seeing some persons. Good going, Mr. Green. Nikolai, good working out. All right. Seeing some good working coming out. All right. Very good. Very good. So we're suggesting here that, hey, that's just one of the approach. We're not saying that this was the only thing that you could have done. Because now I'm going to show you, if you have a fraction of an amount and you want to go to the original, right? You can always do this. And this works every single time. The fraction of the amount that we had or that we have here is 3/5. And 3/5 is actually 2,400. If you want to find the original amount of any fraction, when you're given that amount as a fraction, all you have to do is to reciprocate it and multiply by whatever you got. For example, I'm going to turn this into 5/3. And I want to multiply the 5/3 by 2,400 over 1. This will take you back to the original. Let's look again. If at all you got the fraction, you got a value for a fraction, right? Then you want to go back to the original, turn your fraction upside down and multiply by what you got, and it's going to take you to the original. So let's go. 3 into itself, 1. 3 into 24, 8. 3 into 0, 0. 3 into 0, 0. I'm left with 5 times 800, and everybody would agree, 5, 8, 40, with our 2 zeros, 4,000. So there are many ways. You could use a diagram, or you could just go about relaxing, understanding how you operate with fractions, and that would have taken you to the end of the journey just the same. So we're looking at 4,000 right there. 4,000 is the amount, all right? Right there. All right. Again, I'm still not seeing the likes on the videos, you know. Looking at the video, I'm not seeing the likes. Everybody just stop for a moment and give the video your like so that other people can find the video a lot more easily. All right. Let us jump onto the part B to this. Now, the part B is definitely a follow-up from the first part. So we want to look to see what it says here. It says Bobby spent the same amount of money that Mark spent at the sports day. Hold on. Now I'm going to have to make association. I'm going to have to make some link because they never told me how much money he spent, but I can calculate it more than one ways, right? So you want to know that Bobby spent, so let's highlight that. Bobby spent the same amount of money that Mark spent. Now, this is where you need to find out how much money Mark spent. Go back to the question, right? Mark spent 2 sets of 800 if you want to look at it like that. So Mark spent $1,600. 2 sets of 800 right here. Or if you never saw that, then you could have said, well, Mark spent this. What Mark spent would have been the 4,000 that he brought, and you take away the money that he had left. So if you take away the 2,400 from the 4,000, you're going to realize that Mark had spent $1,600. So you could have found the $1,600 that way, Or you could have looked back at the diagram and realized that it's 2 sets of 800, same thing. So now you're going to use this information to guide your thinking, right? So we're suggesting here that the question said Bob spent the same amount like Mark. Okay, so we understand that Bob, so I could say to you that Bob spent this amount right now. Bob spent that. Now the question says that when he spent that $1,600, he realized something. So it says he realized that he spent that. He realized that he realized that he has. Okay, I think this is has here. So there's a little typo here. Let me just fix it quickly. He realized that he has. Right. So he realized that he has 2/3 of his money left. Very important. After he had spent that, he has 2/3 left. You're going to be thinking now. You need to think, right? He has 2/3 left. 2/3 left. If he has 2/3 left, they didn't tell me how much money he has left, but it did say he has 2/3 left, which means then that he spent 1/3, because if I have things in thirds, right? If I have things in thirds, and he spent a certain amount, if you realize that you have 2/3 left, 2/3 left. So what is left is in pink, 2/3. So if you have 2/3 left, obviously you had spent 1/3 here. So you spent 1/3. That means this $1,600 is actually 1/3. It's just 1/3 of his money. No problem. So we want to have this information. This is just 1/3. So I can now easily find the total that he had in the beginning when I'm ready. Now let's look at the question. The question says, he then saved $800 and gave his best friend Doug $300. He decided to spend the rest of his money on toys. How much money did he spend on toys? This is a very nice question. So what we need to do is just to put everything in the right order, right? Now, he spent 1/3 of his money. So in order to give away money and to save money, you're going to need to know how much money that he really had in the beginning. So his total sum, I was talking about Bob's total sum, would have been, you can reciprocate the 1/3, yes, and turn it into 3/1, multiply by 1,600, and it's going to take you to his total. Because remember, I just said to you, if you have a fraction, if you have the fraction of a total sum, you can go to the original amount, right? By reciprocating the fraction and multiply by what you have. So this is telling us that he has $4,800. So he actually had $4,800 in total. So now you can work out to see how much money will be spent on toys. Because from this, you're going to have to find out how much he's going to give away. You're going to have to work out how much he's going to save and how much he already spent. So he already spent 1,600. He's going to save 800. He's going to give his friend 300. So you want to total all of that to have a good idea of how much. So this is actually $2,700 that he's going to be using, saving, and had used already. Everything. So if you take that now from his total, and his total was 4,008. If you take that from the total, you're going to realize that he has 2,100 for toys. He will have this to be spent on toys. Yes, that amount to be spent on toys. All right. Good going. Good going right there. Yes, that amount to be spent on toys. All right. All right, let's move on to more questions. All right, so this one is in the form of a ratio. Let us see. All right. It says here a sum of money was shared up between CC and BB in the ratio 3-4 respectively. That word respectively is basically telling you that the order in which you saw the names, that was the order in which it was shared up. So it means then that CC came first, would have gotten 3 parts. BB came last, would have gotten 4. So respectively suggesting that follow the order in which the names appear, the way in which the ratio appear is the same. All right. Now we have 3-4 respectively. How much did CC get? So there are many ways you can work this problem. I'm going to select ways to show, but we have multiple ways to work out a problem like this. First thing you need to know, what's the total amount as a ratio, right? So as a ratio, the total parts would have been 3 plus 4, and it would give you a total of 7 parts. So you're looking like, you know, we have 7 parts to deal with. And you want to divide up 3,500 into 7 equal pieces. You're going to give CC 3, and then you give BB 4. That's the reality, you know. You have 7 equal pieces. You have 3,500. So you could just relax and do the math, just using logics, right? So there are 2 approaches that I want to go through. One is where you could use a formula to say what you want, you put at the top, right? For example, if we want CC got 3 out of how many? 3 out of 7. So you could say for CC, 3 out of 7. And then you multiply this by the 3,005. That's one of the ways. And this way does not work every time, but we still can work this one like that. So let's go through with it. 7 into itself 1 time. 7 into 35, 5. 7 into 0, 0, 7 to 0, 0. So we actually have 3 times 500, and that's going to give us a total of 1,500. So that 1,500 can be used to work out BB, or you could just work out BB again, just as though you had worked out this one, which is to say 4 parts out of the 7, and you could multiply that by 3,005. You're still going to get 7 into 35, 5 and 0 and 0. So now it's 500 times 4, and that would have given you 2,000. So you could see that CC got 1,005, and you could see that BB got 2,000. And I'm saying that this is not just the only way that you could have worked this problem. I just did it this way. There are other ways that we could have done it. All right, but in the interest of time, we'll work with this because we have other questions we want to talk about. All right, let's continue. Let's continue working. Now, this one is also another ratio question, but it's slightly different, right? So it's a little bit different. And so let us approach it. So we have the sum. So let's see. let me push it across. It says, a sum of marbles were shared up among P, Q, and R. All right, so we have a sum of marbles. We want to share it up among P, Q, and R. And we want to do so in the ratio 2 to 3 to 7. So I could attach the proportional parts to the various letters. So 2 to 3 to 7. So P would have gotten 2, Q would have gotten 3, and R would have gotten 7. Now, if R gets 20 marbles more, and now this is the issue. Look at this. It says R gets 20 marbles more than Q. Remember now? It did not say R got 20 marbles, It only said that R got 20 more. Right? So I'm looking in the chat to see if anybody could tell me how they would want to start this problem. This problem is a nice problem. How you'd want to start. So I'm just looking to see if anybody suggests. All right, because you can't use the fraction to work out this right now, because this one has a special understanding into it. All right. So we want anyone to suggest their, right? Suggest your way, man. All right. So we want to see if we want to suggest their way how to work out this. So what we want to do with a question like this is you want to look at the two things that were compared. They compared one, they compared R, and two, they compared Q. We were told that R got more. Definitely R will get more because R has 20 more, R has 7, and Q has 3. If you really look at these in terms of their amounts, there is a difference between them. R actually got 4 more parts. R actually got 4 more parts. So because R got 4 more parts, yeah, R actually got 4 more parts. So if R got 4 more parts, you would have understood why R would have gotten 20 more, because his proportion actually is bigger. How much bigger? 4 more bigger. So then we're going to say that these 4 parts would have resulted in the 20 marbles that he got over the next one. Yes, ma'am. So then you can now realize that there's a link here. 4 parts is 20 marbles. All right? So that means I can say 1 part is going to be 20 divided by 4. 1 part is 5 marbles, 1 part is 5 marbles. Check it out. 1 part will give me 5 marbles right now. For every 1 part, it's 5. That means the question is finished, because anything that they ask me now, they want P's share. You know how many P got? P got 2. So P actually got 2 parts. Then 1 part is 5 marbles. So I'm going to say 2 times 5, because I'm going to get 5 2 times. P got 10 marbles. P got 10 marbles. Now, Q. All right, so we want to talk about Q. Q got 3. All right, Q got 3 parts. Now, how much for 1 part? Remember, 1 part is 5 marbles. So we're talking about 3 times 5. Q got 15 marbles. and then R. So the moment I know what one part is, everything else becomes easy. R got 7 parts, right? R got 7 parts. So we're talking about 7 times 5, and that R is gonna get 35 marbles. And you could see now if you link the 35 to the 15, you'd have seen that R got 20 more than Q for real, right? So you have to check, guys. Don't rush into this one. If you rush into this one, you will be in problem, right? Don't rush into it. So if you want me to let me just go back up here to re-explain. I'm gonna go right here to re-explain, because this one is not a regular one in it. Let's go again for it. We are saying that a sum of marbles was shared up in the ratio 2 to 3 to 7, and it's been shared up for P, Q, and R, right? The clue to this question was in the part that says R gets 20 more than Q. So you want to zoom in on R, which is 7 pieces, and Q, which is 3. Now, when you subtract their parts, it's going to tell the extra amount that R has over Q. So we use them to find out that it was 4 extra parts R had over Q. Then now you have to make the link, because if R has 4 over Q, then that would have been the 4 parts that gave him that 20 marbles extra over Q. So the question could have started right there by saying 4 parts is 20 marbles. 4 parts is 20 marbles. So I wanted to know then, if 4 parts is 20, that means 1 part must be 5 marbles. And when I work that down and find out that 1 part is 5, then P got 2 parts, 2 5s, 10. Q got 3 parts, 3 5, 15. All right? And R got 7, 7 5, 35. So right there, you're seeing that. Now, I think the question says now the total amount of marbles shared up is going to be 10 for P, 15 for Q, and 35 for R. All right? So how many marbles you're talking overall? Have to be careful. There was just a total of 60 marbles that were shared up. All right? 60 marbles was shared up. So you have to be careful when you're working out these. You have to look at the clues that you're given. All ratio questions are not done the same way. It depends on the information that you get. So don't just put things as a fraction and work it. No, it is very much conditional to what was said, how they said it, right? And you have to take your time and you work. All right. So let us see what's going through there. Very good working out there, guys. That one was a serious one. You have to take a good look at it. Let's go at this question 5 thing. Question 5 now is in the form of a probability question. So it says here, in a bag, there are 18 pens and 3 different colors. So we're talking about, we have 18 pens here, right? 18 pens of 3 different colors. And so with that said, they are giving us some clues into the thing. So I want to make note that they did tell me that it's 18 pens and there are 3 different colors. So we're told that 5 were red, 7 were blue. All right, 5 were red, 7 were blue, right? So we definitely have that going. 5 were red, 7 were blue. So we have that, no problem. Now, how many black pens were there? All right. Remember, I know we were told that it was 18. So what I want to do was to add up my 5, add up the 7 that I have, that's 12. So I know that the red and the blue come together to give 12. But since there were 18 of them, I know that the last color is black. So I'm going to take the 12 out of the 18 to give you 6 black. So we actually had 6 black pens, right? There were 6 black pens. All right, very easily. All right, very good. Very good working out there. All right. See some good answers coming in. Continue working, guys. Continue working. Again, as soon as you come on the video, hit the likes, hit the subscription, all right, and go. Put on the likes on the video, guys. All right. Now let's continue looking at more things that they want from us. Now, the question says here, a pen is selected at random. Determine the probability that the pen is black, the probability that the pen is blue, the probability that the pen is red. The probability, if you don't know what probability is, probability deals with your desired outcome over the total possibility. So if I should just step aside to explain something. Now, let us look carefully at the word M-A-N-N. So we actually have M-A-N-N. Now, we have a total of 4 letters, and then we have 3 different, so we have a total of 4. Right, in terms of letters that made up this word, 4 spots. Now, if you should put these in a bag, you shake them up, and you don't look and you pick one out, the probability that you'll get M is going to be how many M you're looking at. You're looking at 1 M out of how many things altogether? 4. So your probability to pick up M is going to be 1 out of the 4 choices. That's what we talk about when we talk about probability. It's a fraction, it's less than 1, right? So it is always a proper fraction too. What's the probability that I'll pick up an A? How many A's do I have there? I have 1 A out of how many letters altogether? 4. So the probability to take up the A is 1 out of 4. Now let's look at N. What's the probability to get the N? First, you need to know how many N's are there. 2. A total of how many letters altogether? 4. Sometimes if you can cancel down things, you cancel. This is a half. 1, 2. So I have a half a chance to get the N. And it's true. Isn't N half of this total? Look at it. There are 4 letters. 2 of them are N's. So N is actually a half. So you see that the probability is really so. So the probability deals with what you want, which is called your desired outcome over the total possibility. So now let's go here. Now we want to write down some stuff, all right? We know that we have 6 blacks. We know that we also have 5 red. We know that we have 7 blue, 6 black. So there it is. We know what we're looking at. What's the probability to select a black pen? All right, come on, let me see in the chat. Black pen, it's gonna be 6 black pens out of 18. And if they wanted to cancel down, you can. 6 out of 18 is okay. But what if you want to cancel down? 6 into itself, 1, right? 6 into 18, 3. So the probability for this one would have been 1/3. That's fine. So you can say 6 out of 18 or 1/3. Probability for blue, how many blues? 7. out of how many? 18. And lastly, red. How many reds? 5. Out of how many? 18. So this is just the idea of your probability. It is very simple. Your desired outcome over the total possibility, right? Desired outcome over your total possibility right there. So as you could see, your probability is always a proper fraction. And you want to bear in mind that your probability will never be an improper fraction. Probability cannot pass 1, right? Your greatest probability is 100%, which is 1, right? All right, so let us continue working and looking. So we want to look some more, right? So let's see what's going on here. It says here, in our country, everyone who earns a salary is required to pay income tax. Every single person is required to pay income tax right now, right? So we're saying here that 2% for people who work less, all right? Work less, I think I would want to put the word earn. So who earn less than 20,000. So if you earn less than 20,000, you're going to pay 2% as income tax. That means they're going to take that out of your money and go on with it. 5% for people who earn between 20 or from 20 to 30, and over 30, you pay 10% of your salary. Now let's look at the questions one at a time. Mrs. P earns 15,000. My bad. Mrs. P earns $15,000 monthly. Determining the amount of money she pays as income tax. Now you're going to have to go back to the income tax table up here, and you want to point at her salary. Her salary fell in this category, number 1 category right there, right? So you want to note that, hey, this is the number 1 category she fell in. It's less than the 20,000. So she's going to pay 2% as income tax. So 2%, 2 over 100 times the 15,000. And you want to work out that. You want to cancel the 200, cancel 2. So you're talking about 2 times 150. She is required to pay $300 as income tax. So she will pay $300 as income tax. So the income tax amount varies because it is dependent on the amount of money that you're making for the month. All right, good going, good going. Now, let's continue here. There's a question here that says that Mr. Roy earns more than $20,000, but less than $30,000 monthly. If he pays $1,300 as income tax, determine his exact salary for the month, per month. Now you want to find this man's original salary, right? We know the bracket that he fell in because we were told that, hey, so this money, whenever we find this money, make sure that it doesn't fall less than 20 and it can't be more than 30,000. You can use that as a marker to test your answer if it is correct, because if at all you get more than 30,000, you're incorrect. And if you get less than 20, you're incorrect, right? You're looking for something between those. So now you want to put it together. You want to put it together nicely. So let us think. What category? Go back to the category here. Look. Second category, 5%. All right, we're talking about 20 to 30 here. Person is in this category, 5%. All right, level 2. So 5%. This is actually saying, if you can take this very simply, 5% is 5 over 100. And 5% is, look here, 5% is $1,300. I want you to understand that. 5%, just 5% is actually 1,003. And we want to find his original money. We want to know how much money he is making. Remember I said to you, if you have the fraction, you can always reciprocate. All right. So you see, his exact money, his total money, right? His total money can be found by flipping that fraction. So the 5% will now turn 100 over 5. And if you multiply this by 1,300, it's going to take you to the amount that he actually earns. Remember, if you have the fraction, you can reciprocate it, multiply it, and it's going to take you there. So 1,300, if you divide that by 5, you're going to get 260. So we have 260 times 100, and I'm seeing 26 with 2 more zeros, $26,000. So he is making $26,000 overall. So before they take the tax from this man, he's making $26,000. All right, look at the principles. Now, look at the question now. It says, how much money will Mr. Roy earn after tax in 3 months? You see? So now we want to think about not his overall thing, we're talking about after tax. So in 3 months too. So we want to highlight the important details. After tax. 3 months out of it we need to know that. Now, I want to set it up, take away what the tax is, so I can know this man's money. All right, 26,000 is his original money. Tax is gonna be 1,300. He's going to be left with 24,700. So after tax, this money is after tax for 1 month. That money right here, that's after tax for 1 month. All right? But now the question wants to know, how much will he make after tax for 3 months? So we want to triple this money for him. 3 months we're going. And I multiply this money by 3. Yeah? So you want to draw for your multiplication. 0, 0, 1. All right? 14, 7. There it is. Mr. Roy, after tax for 3 months, he will be making $74,100. Right? $74,100. You have to double check your money. If you had just multiplied the 26,000 times 3, you would have missed the reading. And these questions are very serious. Look, you can't just run with the money that you have. This $26,000 here, it's before the tax. It is his original money that he would have made when they decide to take tax. And they decided that they're going to take that. So you have to make sure that you take it out. Make sure that you take it out, guys, because there are some little tricks in the question. So you want to subtract the tax, yeah? Because here is his money, total, yes? But here is the tax. So now, after tax, yeah? So the after tax money is 24,700. And we wanted to know that for 3 months. Make sure that your multiplication is good, Naomi. Check out your multiplication. All right, your multiplication. All right, check your multiplication. Good going. All right, guys. At this moment, we're about wrapping up. You can give your shout out now. Shout out, you know, we do an hour basically every other week. And then the video is stored. You can rewatch it. You can go and search for other videos that are there on your thing. And again, if there are any specific topics that you would love to see coming out on the channel and it's not yet there, you could drop a comment, state what you want, and I'll definitely get those uploaded to you so that you could watch them. All right. So give your shout outs. We are about to leave. It was nice, you know, it was very nice having you guys again here. And I trust that the session would have worked for you. Enjoy yourself.